I'm Belinda with Belinda's Baubles, and welcome to Vlogmas in Texas, day 16. Day 15? Day 16. Welcome to a Vlogmas in Texas, day 15. I'm trying to speed it along. Oh, 9 more days till Christmas. Okay, so today on our adventure around the United Kingdom 2024 with Mousewitch yarn, we are heading still in Scotland to the Forth Bridge. And I did a little research on that, and I forgot before coming on here to check and see how Caroline with Area Bark is going to take me there, because she's giving me a vicarious tour since she lives in Scotland. So yeah, I could have looked on here and it would have said day 15. Oh well. I slept half the day yesterday, it seems like, so, but I got the tree up. Or I got the tree decorated anyways. It was already up. Okay, so I am assuming that Mandy means by the Forth Bridge, the Forth Rail Bridge, because whenever I was doing some research on this, I found out there are 3. The Forth Bridges go from across the Forth of Firth. Say that really fast 3 times and see how you do. And the rail bridge is a UNESCO World Heritage Site as of 2016. I found several videos that I found really, really interesting. And if you want to see some information about this and do a vicarious trip with me, go down in my in the information below, and I will put these 3 that gave some really great information. I mean, they're not real long, but one of them, one of the YouTubers actually rode or got a ticket, so they were able to ride up to the top, and they did raw footage from up there. I would never do it. Doesn't matter. I would not be up there, but I enjoyed the vicarious trip with my feet on the ground. Okay, so to tell you a little bit about this bridge, it opened March 4th, 1890 by the future King Edward VII. At the time, it was the largest cantilever bridge in the world, and it's now the 2nd largest. Let's see, there are 3 bridges there, so that's why I'm assuming that she's talking about the rail bridge, which is the oldest one, because between the 3 bridges and the other 2, I think, are car bridges, but one was opened in the 19th century, one in the 20th century, and one in the 21st century. So it's some really interesting stuff there. It took 4,500 workers in the 1800s to build the Forth Rail Bridge. And it is 1,700 feet across in length and cost £3.2 million to build. Used to, they had to paint it, and it would take 10 years to paint it, but they've got a new coating on it that no longer requires it to be painted. I found that interesting. But it spans from South Queens Ferry to North Queens Ferry and connects the 2 where they used to have to ferry across. So that gives you a little bit of information about it. And if you want to delve a little bit deeper, like I said, I will put the links down below to some really interesting videos that I found. It's close to noon by now. I've had a busy morning. I actually went to DJ Alpaca Farm's Christmas market, and I took a lot of videos and got a great interview and everything. So I'm going to take you, after we open the yarns, you're going to go with me on an alpaca adventure. I did a video there for their spring event, but this time I went early as soon as they opened and was able to get one of the volunteers to walk us around and tell us all about the alpacas. So I hope you enjoy that. I did. All right, so day 15. Crinkle alert. Ooh, I was right. It's the rail bridge. Okay. Go. And she's got the sky and the bridge all in there. That beautiful orange and blue. Oh. And of course, we're going to do the drop. Or not. Ta-da! Yeah, there we go. Oh, look at that. Goes from the blue of the sky into the orange of the bridge. Oh. Okay, Mandy, I've got to say the Scotland colors are my favorite so far. Sorry, but they are. I'm still keeping up with my Advent mittens. I'll show them to you tomorrow because tomorrow will be a work day, so I won't have as much time. And so I will show you that tomorrow because by then I'll have 3 colors in it. Because it's going to be kind of cool as far as for me that one mitten is going to have all the colorways of England and Northern Ireland, and the other one is going to have all the colorways of Scotland and Wales. So, and I found out through looking back through my update, because they're always updating the DNA, how they are able to look at it and pinpoint. And basically, it used to say I had a little bit of Welsh in me, but I don't. But I do have mainly English, Scottish, and a touch of Northern Ireland in my genetics. Of course, those genetics brought my family over in the 1600s and the 1800s. Hence why there's only a little tiny bit of Northern Ireland in me. But it still makes this journey kind of fun for me. All right, so let's see what's going on with the Scrappy Advent. All right, a little commercial break there, or at least a Seaver break there. So Scrappy Advent Day 15. Let's see what we've got in here. And I did work a little bit on my hat yesterday, but that 4-hour nap really, ooh, this is pretty, took it out of me. Oh, it's got some stellina in there and that deep turquoise, which is a little bit lighter turquoise in there. Oh, this is pretty. This would be good to go right up against, well, I'm sure this originally went with the first color that I'm working on right now, because that's just a darker version of it. All right. So, pretty, pretty, pretty. And I can't show you what I came home with as far as all that I came home with from the Alpaca farm days. I did bring home some Keller, Texas honey. There's a bee farm that's right next to them. So I got some local, and I got me a alpaca themed bowl holder. I love these things. I've got another one that I've just about worn out, but you can put your bowl in here before putting it in the microwave. It's cotton inside, so it's safe to go into the microwave, and then when you pull it out, you're not burning your hands. So I love these things. I am going to go do laundry, and because I didn't do it yesterday, do a little bit of knitting, hopefully, and go do a lot of editing. So next up is DJ's Alpaca Farm in Keller, Texas, and I hope you enjoy the Christmas market, and I will see you guys tomorrow.
Well, hi, I'm Krista. I have been volunteering at DJ's Classic Alpacas since February of this year, so it's been almost a year. And what you have over here is all of our males, except for one, is over there, but all of our males are here. We keep the males and the females separate. This is Coffee. He's very handsome. This is Desi, I think. We have Fred back there with a little spotted face. Steel is this gray one here. Derecho's the one in the rump in the middle. And these are all of breeding age, but most of there's a few. Oh, I'm sorry, that's not Derecho. That's Monarch. That's Derecho right there. But this one here, the black one, the little one that's facing us right now with the dark face, and one of the boys over here, they're about 3, and none of them have been bred yet, but the other boys are of breeding age. But we always keep the males and the females separate unless we're breeding, because they can actually kind of hurt the females, and so we keep them separate. And in a minute we'll go over here and look at some boys, but alpacas are part of the camelid family, and so they're related to llamas, camels, and then there's 2 other breeds that are vacuna, and I can't remember the other one, but these are the ones that are domesticated. So camels, llamas, and alpacas. Alpacas are the smallest of the domesticated camelids, and they are more, I don't want to say timid, but they need protection, versus like llamas actually can be pretty self-protectant, but alpacas are pretty docile and really like food. This is Fred here, and he is very excited.
Hi, Fred.
Yeah, yep. So alpacas have just lower teeth, except for in their jaw. And so when you feel it, they don't have any upper teeth to actually put a bite on you, but they will kind of scoop with their teeth. And so sometimes you'll feel it a little bit. But they're very, very sweet, and they have this amazing fiber.
One of my favorite fibers in the world.
Yes. So alpacas, we shear these guys once a year in the spring. So they were shorn at the end of March, and so this is what they've grown since March. So lots of great dense fiber, and I'll show you with these guys over here, like the thickness of these guys' fleece. So these guys over here are Rocky is the lighter one, and R&R or Rock and Roll is the darker one. Rocky is our herd sire, so he is kind of our most prestigious stud, if you will. He has very, very good genetics, and his fiber is great. Genetics are great, super dense. And R&R is this other little guy, and he's kind of our PR person. He is super sweet, very docile. Minds.
Yes, I have food in my pocket. You smell me, don't you?
So this is Rocky.
Hi, Rocky.
He's about 6 or 7, I believe. Oh. And alpacas can live about 15 to 20 years. And the female's gestation is 11.5 months, give or take. They can actually hibernate a delivery if they need to for some reason. So I was going to show you the density of this fiber. So again, he was just shorn in March, but you can see like how far in my fingers go. And it's super dense if you want to stick a hand in there.
That was a lot more softer.
Here is, you can see the density of this fleece. And oops, stay here. I mean, it's just so much. And then his crimp, if you look way down in here, is, so you can see how thick this is. But then here's his skin way down here. So he just has amazingly soft fiber, and he is just a gem. He's so sweet. This is R&R.
All right. So do you really rock and roll R&R?
Oh, all the time. He's our public relations person. He goes to lots of shows. Get my hands flat. So with females, another interesting thing about them is that they're from the Andes in South America, and instinctively with in the Andes, it's warm during the day, but it freezes at night. And so the females will generally drop their cria, which is a baby alpaca. It's called a cria. They'll drop them usually in the early morning hours, but usually they stop dropping by the late afternoon. Even though we live in Texas, they still kind of instinctively do that because in the Andes, if they drop their baby too late, they won't have time to dry off before it freezes at night, and the baby won't survive. And so even though these guys live here and they're miles and miles and miles away from the Andes, it's still kind of instinctive for them to drop their cria in the morning. So that's really, really cool. I think that they'll actually hold their delivery off until the next day.
Wow.
So
some strong mamas.
Yes, for sure. And then they will generally nurse their crias for like 6, 9, 10 months, something like that. Some of them are needed a little longer, but they're very good mamas. They're very protective of their babies, and they do a really great job. So again, these are all of our boys. And
you've got a new little one over there.
We have a new one over here. His name is Zorro. Let's go look at him. Another interesting thing about alpacas, they generally have what we call poop piles.
Okay.
So they don't just poop all over like cattle or like other livestock. They actually have like a communal toilet. So Rafe here is giving us a good example of a poop pile. So he's going, and then there's usually, like in this area right here that's fenced off, there's usually like 3 spots that they'll go, 3 or 4, but you don't just find, oh, Fred, you don't just find it all over the place, which is kind of cool. And alpaca poop, we call them beans because it literally looks like little black beans, but it's very, very high in nitrogen, great for gardening or anything like that. And they actually, you can come and get a bag of poop. If you scoop it yourself, it's a little bit cheaper, or if they scoop it for you, but it's really good for gardening and things like that. People make tea, not to drink, but like alpaca tea, they'll soak it in water and then they'll use the water that's got all those nutrients in it to put on their garden.
Oh, okay.
So let's kind of maybe go over here. Yeah. So these are the females. We have some females that are very old in here. So again, they live 15 to 20 years. Mercure right here, this white one with her back to us, she's, I think, 17. Stella is over there looking at us right now with hay in her mouth. She is, I think, 17 or 18. I think Stella's the oldest one.
About how long do they usually live?
15 to 20 years.
Okay.
Yeah, so they're seniors. And then, let's see, here's, this is Inara here, the black one with her back to us. And right next to her is Zorro. So he is one of our newest babies. There's another baby in here. Oh, right over there.
The brown one.
Yes, yeah. That is Rocket. Okay. Hi, baby. This is Mercure. And then the biggest alpaca that we have on alpacas also are usually about 100 to 130, 140 pounds. But you can get ones that are bigger, and obviously you can get ones that are smaller. So there's some in here that, like, that's Treasure. I think she only weighs about 80 pounds. But this right here, this white one, is Zoe. And she is the biggest alpaca on the farm, bigger than all the boys. She weighs around 200 pounds.
Wow.
So she's a big girl. Hi, this is Harley. Just like she has a little headlight on her nose, so we call her Harley, like a bike. So Inara is April's baby. This one here that is just chewing away. April is the guardian of the female herd. So she is always on alert. She's very protective of her herd, and she's kind of grumpy. So, alpacas do spit just like llamas and camels. They generally will spit as a if they feel that like they're having to defend themselves. But the boys will generally only spit on each other in competition for food. Some of the girls will actually just spit on you. And April is one of them. So I have a special place in my heart for that girl because she is so hard to kind of get a relationship with, but I have gotten a couple of kisses from her, so that she melts my heart.
Is she the gray one?
She's the blackhead gray body.
Okay.
She's the herd guardian, and then her daughter Inara here, the black one with her rump to us, is Zorro's mommy. So we have 3 generations right here, which is fun. And it's funny because with April, when she's on alert, she'll flip her tail up, but it's kind of crooked. It like crooks like that. And when he was first born, we noticed that his tail did the same thing. And so it looked like a Z. So we were like, oh, Zorro. So, but these are our females. And like I said, they're the youngest one in here. This little fella here, Zorro, is about, I think, 6 weeks old, maybe 8 weeks. Rockette was born in, I can't remember. She's a couple months old. And then we have up to Stella right there is, I think, our oldest one. I think she's like 17 or 18. Alpacas can kick 360 degrees. So you don't have to kind of worry about them if they feel like they have to. Like most of these girls don't. They're not aggressive like that. That's Flo, the one on the far left here. She is a kicker. So you kind of, you want to make sure that she knows you're coming or whatever. And even when she does, sometimes she gets it. This is Princess Tiara. Oh shoot, I was going to show you. She has
a bit of a mustache.
Well, she has like a little white strip up on her head.
Yeah.
And so that it looks like a little tiara. And I can't think. This is this is shoot, hang on. Khaleesi. You see she has some gray back behind both of her ears. See that? So there's three or four black females, and they all have kind of distinctive features. So Khaleesi has the little gray behind her ears. But sometimes, with learning all these, I've been volunteering since February, so I'm still really learning all these guys. And some of them to this day, I'm like, oh, I can't think who that is.
It's amazing that you know their names.
Yeah,
to this degree.
This is Shimmer, and her name is that because she has this little interesting gold mark on her nose, like all the length of her nose. She's not showing us right now. But one of see the little shimmer on top of her nose? Little gold.
I'm sorry, I just noticed the one that basically has her nose in the...
Oh yeah, in the hay.
The hay. It was like, okay, I'm going to sleep in this. I'm not going to stop eating.
So when they are laid down like that, it's called cushing. And then every once in a while, you might have seen this when they were trying to herd the baby. He is a runner. And so when they kind of run and do jumping motions, it's called pronking. This one with the cool hairdo right here is Rain. This one that's right by April.
She has the teenage boy haircut.
She does indeed. Every teenage boy in America right now.
Yep.
Oh, and here she comes. River is the mom of Rockette, which is the older baby that's in this. Hi, River.
I'll feed you guys in a minute when I can set my camera down and just play with you for a second. This
is Zoe. This is the big girl.
Oh. She
looks very similar to Mercure. They're both white, but Mercure has a dark spot on the back of her head. So she's the one that's standing there with just hay in her mouth. There's April. Hi, April. She's grumpy.
She's keeping watch.
Oh yeah,
she's
very good. She's very good at that. So these are our females. What questions do you have for me?
Oh, what got you interested in alpacas?
Yes. So several years ago, we were in Angel Fire, New Mexico, and we visited an alpaca farm up there. And so I've just kind of been obsessed ever since then because I think they're just so incredible. Like the fact that the moms can hold off their labor to an appropriate time for them, even though we live in Texas, to just hey, guys, please, seriously. No, we don't steal people's food. To just the sweet nature. I mean, they're very, most of them are very sweet, and you can develop a relationship with them. So, about a year ago, I was talking to somebody, and she was like, you should really try to find a farm, because I've been coming here to this farm to open farm days for about 2 years. And somebody was like, you should find a place that would take volunteers. So I emailed them and I said, do you guys ever need any help? And they're like, yes, because this is a big job.
Yeah.
And so I volunteer every Saturday afternoon. I come and I scoop the poop and I feed and water the animals. So, and I get kisses, sugar sometimes, and it brings me a lot of joy. So
I can imagine.
Yeah, so I love being out here, and oh, McCure's just standing there being a pretty girl. Yeah. Just loving on them, and the day that I got a kiss from April, for the first time, I thought my heart was just dropping out of my chest, because she's so stoic and standoffish. So when I had that interaction with her, I melted. I absolutely melted. So, but it's really cool working here, because, I got to be part of the shearing last year, or not last year, but in the spring. And just watching, we had 80 something animals, because more people come from all over to have their animals shorn. Okay. And I think we had 83 animals from, 8 o'clock in the morning to 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and just to watch the process and how quickly and just streamlined it was very, very impressive.
Is it about like with sheep as far as how quick they do it, or?
Oh yeah, so they can shear one animal in about 3 to 5 minutes, I would say. And they usually have 2 pads down, so the animals are laid down and they're kind of stretched out so that they can get them. And with alpacas, I can't remember if I already told you this or not. The part that they the part that you would use for clothing is called their blanket. So it's from the shoulders to their rump, and from the bottom of their belly over so like what a blanket would lay. And so that is the best fiber. Okay. And then their necks and their legs is called seconds. So seconds would be something that you would make like a rug out of. Okay. Whereas the blanket you would make clothing, because it's usually very consistent in length, and that's the premier fleece that we get from them. And generally I'm sure you've seen pictures of alpacas that have just been shorn. Generally we don't mess with their heads. Right. So they look like a Q-tip. They have this big nest of hair, and then their skinny little bodies. So, but that's what they do here. And then we sell. Hi, Zorro. Hi. What are you doing? This little guy is about 6 weeks old, I think, maybe 8 weeks, and he's so cute. Come here. I want you give us sugars. Yeah. So he's still nursing, obviously, because they nurse first, 6, 9, 10 months. I mean, that's his mama, Inara. Yeah. She's a first-time mom. So this is her first baby, or Kriya. So, what's the matter? I think I need to get them a little bit more water.
Yeah. You find some on the ground? I just have a little bit left. Okay, I don't think I fed you yet. I know. I'll give y'all what I have left.